Welcome to the Pit Life Barbecue Podcast. Join us around the pit as we talk all things barbecue. Now here is your host, Johnny Maggs.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Pit Life Barbecue Podcast, episode 420, coming to you live from the Uncle Steve Shake Studios in Center Barnstead, New Hampshire. It's a podcast where we talk barbecue and a lot of other things that you normally talk around the pit. Oh, thank you all for tuning in. Right now I'm getting my balls busted by Daddy Dutch and Tom. But Tom, look at everything you got done. Your trash is taken out. Your dishes are done. You smoked a brisket, so you got snacks. And now I'm on. You're ready to go. I was working on your schedule, giving you some extra time. Judge Wep, what's happening? El Jefe, what's going on, Jeff? Matt, what's happening? Oh, guys, we got a great episode. And, I hit them hard-hitting questions. And we're going to hit on a topic this evening because apparently Bill has come up with a foolproof process to this. And, folks, this is what happens on late-night conversations at a comp. Nothing barbecue-related. So you can just imagine. But let's get into it. Tonight's episode brought to you by Uncle Steve Shake. Uncle Steve Shake. Uncle Steve, great guy. Shirt off your back kind of guy. Loves what he does. True passion for seasonings. He's a mad scientist on some of these. But he wears all the hats. He's mixing the shake. He's bottling, labeling, packaging, shipping, answering phone calls, answering emails. He'll call you or send you an email if he has a question about your order. Well, he just wants it to be perfect. If you got a question on like flavor profiles, give him a call. Shoot him a message. He'd love to sit and talk with you for a bit and explain everything to you of his 19 incredible flavors. The original, the Gator Shake, competition line, magic ribs, mi amigo, the sweet dessert shake. The list goes on and on. So check him out, folks, at UncleSteveShake.com. Also follow along on Facebook at Uncle Steve Shake Nation. Uncle Steve Shake, shake some on everything. Also brought to you by Joe's Meat Market, the diamond of Royce City, Texas. Gabriel and his crew do an amazing job day in, day out. Always the top grade proteins available every day. Need a certain thickness cut? Gabriel's got you. You got looking for something that Gabriel might not carry? He'll work with you to get it in. Fresh produce brought in daily. For us comp and backyard guys, he's got us covered too, ladies and gentlemen. Multiple lines, rubs, seasonings, sauces, injections, marinades, including the Joe's Meat Market house line. Now Joe's Meat Market, an official Nomad dealer. So grab your Nomad grill, your Nomad charcoal, Nomad fire sticks, anything Nomad, right there, one-stop shop. And you feeling a little hungry? He's got you covered. Maybe his mom's behind the counter whipping up some of the freshest cuisine out there. So swing on in, grab a plate, grab a bowl, sit down with the boys, make a new friend, and just leave the worries of the world out on the doorstep. So if you're ever in the Royce City area, swing on by Joe's Meat Market. Tell Gabriel and the crew I sent you. Remember, folks, Joe's Meat Market for the win. Certainly last but certainly not least, the 2026 Road to Barbecue Greatness runs through New England this season and beyond. The New England Triple Crown is back for year 2 and bringing the next battle for the belt buckle with it. Introducing the 2026 Uncle Steve Shake New England Triple Crown, sanctioned by the Champions Barbecue Alliance. 3 competitions, 3 states, 1 champion. This isn't a one-weekend win. It's a season-long battle for consistency in barbecue fire. If you want to win the crown, you've got to run the gauntlet. 7 Maples Smoke Showdown in New Hampshire was back in June. The Rhode Island barbecue state championship was last weekend, which our guest this evening knows a little bit about. We'll get into that. And final leg is Camp Harkness Beachside Smoke Showdown in Waterford, Connecticut. Show up and show out with your best chicken, ribs, pork, and brisket. Jackpots and unique opportunities include Loaded Bloody Mary, Future Q, and Women's Q events this year. It's bound to be fire. Only one team will stand at the end, New England Triple Crown champion. Registration is open. Step up and show out, powered by Uncle Steve's Shake. All right, so where did I leave off? Matt Pereira. Ooh, the eyes just went cross there, going from the phone to the screen. Holy hell, I'm getting old, brother. Let's see. Where the hell is it? Matt, El Jefe, Matt. There we go. Brother CJ, what's happening? Simon, yes, I can buy you. Chris Rosinski, what's up, brother? Bobby Stewart, what's going on? PK Bobby in the house. Jesse, Valerie, what's up, brother? Larry Vaughn, afternoon from South Jersey. NBL. Brian Fox. I want to blame you, but if my information is correct, you are not technically at fault over this grill marking on everything that my phone hasn't stopped since yesterday over this. Randy Salinas, what's happening? Big Salinas barbecue. Heidi, how are you, dear? Juke Moreno, what's up? All right, folks, let's get into it. It has been a while on this show since me and this gentleman have gotten together. We were able to get hands together last weekend down in Rhode Island, and we'll get into that. But we got a lot of catching up to do. He's been a busy boy down there in Texas. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen from Chicken Fried Barbecue, you know him, you love him, Brother Bill Purvis. What's happening, brother?
Just living the dream, brother. Living the dream. So,
right?
Life is good. Life is good, Mags. So
yes, it is. Yes, it is. But man, it has been a hot while since we got on together. So this is going to be fun. God knows we got a lot. At least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other things to talk about, sort of. That I'm staring at. I'm missing one. I'm all out. But yeah, we'll get it. But first and foremost, how are you? How's the family?
Man, I'm doing great. Family's doing great. We're officially empty nesters now. So my youngest daughter is moved out. So I'm in what used to be her bedroom is now my office, which my shop, my air conditioning's gone out in my shop. So my mini split, when I came back from Rhode Island, man, the mini split was working when I left, and man, it ain't working anymore. So I had a repairman come today so I can't do any podcast or anything in the shop because man, it's blistering hot. It's 120 degrees in there. So we are in the spare bedroom, which hopefully the audio sounds good because
everything sounds good. Yeah.
There's nothing in this room other than my desk. Whereas my shop, I think there's insulation on the wall, so it's not as there's not a big echo or anything. But
Bill, so that insulation is called trophies.
We do have some trophies. That's right.
Yeah, one or two.
We have a few. That's right.
But yeah, brother, let me tell you, it was great to see you last weekend. Obviously, it was great on another level. It was my first time actually being able to compete against you.
Yeah.
And, you didn't leave me too far in the dust. I wound up with a 7th overall, which I'll take, especially against that field. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, let's talk about that one. Automatic for the jack.
Yep.
I think you put it in there. You threw the Hail Mary and it worked out. But
It
it
worked
was
out.
very
I was planning on going to Hawaii because Hawaii.
no, it was for sure, for sure. Um, but yeah, it was great. You took it down. You're on your way back to the jack.
Yeah.
I know you had said, on a when you were talking with one of the shows recently. Um, what's the feeling? It was a bit emotional. It was a bit little everywhere, and then the call from Vanessa, and
Well, the thing is, the jack is just like, we're down here in Texas. It's got such a there's just such a ring to it. And even when I first started barbecue, I really never saw myself being able to go to the jack because Texas, they historically have pulled one name out of the hat of all the state championships. So you got to win a state championship, a barbecue contest, and then your name goes to the hat. And there's usually, 300 plus names in that hat. So, man, it's practically impossible to, I say impossible to get drawn, but every year somebody goes, and it's usually a guy, a team that maybe only has one win. So even if you have 5 wins or you've got your name in the hat 5 times or 6 times or 3 times, invariably every year they pull a name that's usually just a guy that's only won once, so or maybe only won one state championship. So to plan on that was just kind of, if you're planning on getting drawn out of Texas, it's far-fetched. It's the percentages are pretty low, and even saying that, the percentages the other way is to win 7. And that was obviously the first time I went, which was 2023, a couple of years ago. I'd won 7 qualifiers, state championships in the Jack's calendar year. So, and everyone was saying, oh, number 7 is the hardest one. So I got to 6 pretty quickly. And, Carl proved that. Everybody was, let me turn that phone on quiet. Hang on a second.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah,
LB,
so
what's happening?
it was, now, but for me, my 7th one, it came right after my 6th one. It was, man, it seemed like pretty easy as far as when you're running on a hot streak. I felt like I couldn't lose. I would go to comps and felt like I couldn't lose, and so yeah, and this was my 4th GC this year, at Rhode Island. So, I wasn't even close to really 7, so, well, let's just jump on a plane. I feel like I'm due for another GC, because I can look at my stats and see, man, I'll win one, and then I may go 4 or 5. And then there was one year I looked at it where every 5th competition was a win. So, maybe go and hit 7th overall or 10th overall or 15th overall, and then boom, a win, so, it's just playing those numbers. And I figured, hey, and I'm due for a win. It'd been, several comps since I'd won. Let's get on a plane and see if I do win, man, have it be worth something, and obviously Rhode Island was, worth an auto ticket to go cook the Jack Daniels. So, now I just need to get 5 comps that I don't win before I go to the Jack. That way, when I get to the Jack, statistically, I've got my numbers in order.
Yep. No, absolutely. I was sitting there at awards, and I was sitting behind you, and you were sitting across from Brian, and Darren was on the other side there too, and it was pretty damn close between yous. Brian, you and Brian were just looking back and forth at each other, and I had the full view of Brian And both of you are like, bang, and looking at the overall, it was just under a 2-point difference.
Right.
It was
Oh, yeah, it was
a
close.
787.98 and a 785.70. So just 2 points between the two of you. And they called him reserve, and then in the words of the great Phil Breeden, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought actually Brian, because I'd gotten the first chicken. He had a chicken walk, but I was first. And then he had a rib walk, and my rib walk, I think he was maybe seventh, and I was sixth. So I had him there, on chicken and ribs. I was ahead of him. I didn't know how many points I was ahead of him. But when it came to pork and brisket, I was a seventh place pork and he got first. And then I was a sixth place brisket and he got second. So I thought, in my mind, whatever points I was leading on chicken and ribs, because our rib calls are right next to each other. And I think he was maybe fourth chicken, maybe, and I was first chicken. Or I can't remember what chicken call he was, or maybe he was sixth or seventh chicken. I can't remember. But with him getting first pork and getting second brisket, just 9 times out of 10, man, that's usually going to create some two strong basically top 2 calls. Man, I was thinking, man, I was going to be third overall. Me and Donald, I felt like me and Donald were pretty close on calls.
Yeah.
And even Darren, he was a sleeper too, because Darren had 3 top 5 or top 4 calls. He's just missed chicken. So if Darren would have had an 11th place chicken, man, he could still be in it. So, but then they called Darren for 4th, and then Smoke Show for 3rd. I was like, oh shit, it's between me and Brian, but I'm pretty sure Brian's probably going to have it just because of the 2 strong calls, but not knowing the cumulative points. I was shocked whenever they called him for a reserve, and I think he was too. I think most people that watch our live feeds and all the rest of it probably had Brian in the lead, but between my chicken score and his chicken score, my rib score and his rib score, I think I maybe had him by 6 points. I got Steve Harvey.
You got Steve Harvey.
What place chicken were you, Brian? I can't remember. Maybe he'll post it in there. Let's see what place chicken he was. Oh, you got the sheets right there. Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. I come prepared once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Chicken. 6th place chicken.
Okay. So he was 6th and I was first. So, and the gap in those points was probably 4 or 5 points, I think.
196.72 is what you had, and he had 193.7.
Yeah,
so a 3-point difference. And just, hey, Brian, just let you know that there was another guy on this show that was 5th place chicken. Just so. I finally got that chicken monkey off my back. So
Did you beat Brian in chicken? Did you beat Brian in chicken?
I beat Brian in chicken, 5th place chicken, and I beat him by it was close, 194.12 to 193.70.
So you beat a Texas boy at half chicken.
At half chicken. How about that?
How about that? I'll be damned. Yeah.
You Texas boys are leaving a little information over here, and I'm picking it up because I'm not stupid. But yeah, then let's see. We got ribs. Where are we? You had a 6th place rib, and he had 7th place. You guys were right. Boom, boom.
How many points on ribs? How many points on ribs did I get him?
1. 1.5. You had a 196 flat. He had a 194.58.
Yeah. So.
Then he had, of course, the 1st place pork. Great job there. And man, he missed the perfect 200. 199.28.
Yeah.
And
And
then
I
you
was
had the
7
7 with 198.56. So how damn close was that one?
It's less than a point.
Yeah. Less than a point between first and seventh. Then we get
I think brisket
into
was probably the same, probably maybe less than a point or maybe a point or two.
brisket. You had a 196.70. And where the hell? And he had a 198.14. Yeah, you guys were within 2 points on every
Yeah.
category. But like I said, Brian was up here last year, and we told him, leave the pepper at home. Leave the pepper at home. And he finally learned to leave the pepper at home.
Well, if
So
Brian would have just turned in his half chicken and not turned in his pieces, man, his half chicken was really good. I thought his half chicken was better than flavor wise and texture wise. Man, he had me on half chicken. I really thought and so did Darren. We were all eating Brian after after we turned in chicken, we're all trying, each other's food because the three of us are next to each other. And man,
yeah,
everybody loved Brian's half chicken, but he also turned in the nuggets, which I don't think his nuggets were as good as his half.
yeah.
I think he put in the comments the damn nuggets, so
No,
so thank
absolutely.
thank God. I had nuggets as well. I had cooked them as well, but I didn't particularly care for mine, so I didn't put them in the box. So
No, absolutely, absolutely. Brother Lep, what's happening? Uwe Braun, what's happening, brother? And oh my God, Mike, what's happening, brother? Cooking with Big Cat. What is going on, man? Been a long time, brother. But yeah, you take it down, and we're there to celebrate with you. Your sister, you have family out in this area,
yeah,
so your sister was there with
yeah,
you, celebrating with you, and then you make the phone call to Vanessa and say, "Hey, pack a
we're going
bag.
back.
We're going back to Tennessee. We're going back to the holler."
That's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
that's but it was good, and like I said, it was great to finally to go up against you. That was fun, and go up against Darren.
Right.
That was
Yeah.
another one. That was the first time I ever met Darren in person, the goat. And we had a cup of coffee and all that. We had a good old time. But but let's get into that before we get into the business aspect. There was when you walk into a conversation, and that's what I did. I walked into a conversation on Saturday evening, and you have a wonderful theory, and I'm dying to try it out. I just need Mrs. Maggs to get hungry for breakfast.
Okay. Okay.
I walked into an in-depth conversation. The only thing that was missing was compasses and protractors on you have figured out a proper exact way of eating pancakes. I told you I
Man,
asked the hard-hitting questions, brother.
it's a procedure. It's
This
a
is what I'm saying.
procedure.
Fill me in because I missed like
It's
half
a
of this
procedure.
conversation.
Yeah, it's a procedure. So yeah, me and Darren went to breakfast and I ordered pancakes and I do it, I do it without fail. You know, First you got to butter the pancakes,
Mhm.
you got to butter your pancakes first, lots of butter. And then you cut it. I cut my pancakes like a pizza into triangles, and I go north, south, east, west, and then a couple of diagonals to where it's all cut up into bite-sized triangles. And then I pour the syrup in all the cracks. That way, every triangle gets syrup. Because if you just pour it on top of the pancake, man, it doesn't go down and hit pancake number two or pancake number three.
Yes, sir.
So I cut it like a pizza, and then I fill all the little cracks with syrup. That way, each bite gets the ample amount of syrup.
No,
And man, I did
absolutely.
that, and Darren was really impressed with my I'm not real meticulous on a lot of things, but I am meticulous on how I eat my pancakes. You know,
No, absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, I walked into, and folks, if you're ever wondering what's going on, the conversations at a barbecue contest, the in-depth barbecue talk, pancakes, proper procedure of cutting and syruping and buttering pancakes. This is what
right?
we do. This is what we do. But no, I'm like, oh, I have to get that in there. I have to get that in there, the pancakes. So it's either I'm making pancakes or we're going to get some this weekend. I have to put it to the
Right.
test. I gotta. It's not that I don't believe you, but the research. I
Right.
got to second the motion. Um, like I said, I can't remember the last time we got together, but you have been a busy boy as a chicken fried brand with your has really expanded your product line because originally you started with the OG,
That's
the
right.
Texas
That's
rib
right.
grind.
Yeah.
Then you moved to the Texas sweet grind, I believe.
Probably Game Over maybe came next. I'm not sure.
That's what it was. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
either that.
I
It's
think, I
one
think
of the two.
yeah. Yeah. I think maybe Game Over. I think Game Over came next, then Sweet Grind, and then man, the brisket wrap and all the wraps came, and then here recently, the Ultimate Grind is my last. The Ultimate Grind is my last one that has been released.
Yeah, yeah, that was the last one. But like you said, you started with the wraps. So you had the game over. You had the rubs. Then you start with the brisket wrap.
Yep.
And what was your thought with starting this wrap line now? Because the brisket one I've been using all of them, and I've been doing well with them. But the
Yeah.
brisket wrap, it's like no other.
Yeah. I mean,
Because
it was a product that I was already using. It was Crawford's Barbecue. He had owned a line of spritz lines. They
Mhm.
were a beef spritz, an apple spritz, a peach spritz. And basically, me and several other teams in Texas were pouring his beef spritz into our brisket wraps. So there was quite a few of us using it, and we were all doing well with brisket. So he was on his way out of barbecue and basically called me up and asked me, and he's a good buddy of mine. He owned a barbecue store in San Antonio. He asked me if I wanted to buy his beef spritz. And I said, sure, man. I mean, he knew he had a store. I would trade him my Game Over for him to sell in the store. We would trade cases of Game Over for cases of his beef spritz. So it was something that I was already using, but it wasn't something that I was public about. It was kind of like my little silver bullet, if you will, on my
Mhm.
brisket game. But just like anything else, there's different people, friends of mine. Hey, what are you doing to your brisket, man? Try this, And so there was quite a few of us that were using it, and lo and behold, he called me and asked me if I wanted to buy it. So sure, I'll buy it, and we worked out a deal where I buy it and basically use the same co-packer that he was using, and we just switched out and put my label on it. And of course, I put on the bottle how I was using it, because at that point it was like, okay, well, if I'm going to put my name on it, my brand on it, and
Mhm.
I want people to buy it more than once. If they just buy it and I don't tell them exactly how I'm using it, and they may not get good results. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you still have to cook the brisket right. You still have to go and source a good quality brisket. It's worked well for, I run Snake River Farms. I buy golds off their website or Chopping Block. Sometimes, I mean, Chopping Block sponsors me, so I'll get some from him. But but it works well with the snake. I've had other people say, "Hey, man, they don't do well with it with an A9." I don't know. I don't cook A9s. I roll snakes, and man, it does just fine. But again, man, there's lots of variables, but there's been a ton of stuff on social media where people have hit first place brisket, and I don't even know who they are, but they have gone out of their way to tag me and send
Mhm.
me notes, send me pictures of belt buckles and everything else. So the competition community has been really good as far as sharing if they've got a first place rib with an apple wrap. The guys that won the Rib World Championship, smoking aces, they posted all over that they used apple wrap, and they won the Rib World Champion with my apple wrap. So um, but again, it's just been the community, and every pit master is kind of like a mad scientist what they do their mixtures. I had a guy this weekend. He got a nice brisket call, and he's, "Oh, I'm not using it the way the way my directions." He's got his own secret concoction of
Mhm.
how he uses it. So,
Yeah.
and I
Well,
didn't ask him, but everybody, in a game where you want to do well, sometimes you've got to make yourself just a little bit different. So I know people that are mixing peach wrap with apple wrap, and everybody's
yep.
coming up with their own concoctions to try to get a flavor profile that's similar, that scores, but it just gives them a little bit of separation.
No, absolutely. And like I said, Dutch is sitting there, got a third place call with a snake black.
Yeah, there you
And
go.
I'll
You
add
know,
another one to you. There was
yeah,
one that it was just coming up, and I needed a brisket.
yeah.
I went down to my local butcher shop. A best um
Apple and peach. So I said, okay, well, man, I'm probably just going to produce the brisket because that's the only one that I'm using. Well, lo and behold, I started getting messages from other cooks. They had contacted Brian. "Hey, man, where can we get some peach?" And, "Well, Chicken Fried brought my whole line, so you need to call him." So I started getting messages. "Hey, when are you going to release the peach?" And I'm like, "Man, I haven't even tasted the peach."
yeah.
And I'm getting messages, "When are you going to release the apple?" We use the apple, man. It's a crucial part of our rib program, and the same with the peach. Other cooks from all over the country sending me messages say, "Hey, man, that's the secret ingredient in our rib." I'm like, "Listen, man, I haven't. Brian didn't have any for me to taste, and he wasn't going to order because you got to buy it by the pallet from the co-packer. He wasn't going to order a,
Yeah.
a pallet of it." So he said, "Just work with the co-packer." So I told the co-packer, "Send me some samples because I'm not going to release a peach or an apple if I can't taste it.
Yeah.
So the first one was peach. The guy sent me, I think he sent me 6 bottles of peach. So I said, "Well, man," and I opened it up. I thought it tastes delicious. And let me go cook with it. Let me cook a rack of ribs with it. And I didn't even cook them at the house. I just went straight to a contest. And of course, there was a team out there, and I won't mention their name, but they were kind of telling me how they were using it. So in their wrap, how they were using it in the wrap as well.
Mhm.
So they kind of gave me what they were doing. And man, I didn't have all the stuff that they had mentioned, all the different sugars and honeys and everything. I didn't have all that shit. So, but I just kind of listened to how they were using it, just kind of made my own adjustments. And that weekend, I hit first place ribs with the peach in my rib wrap. So I was like, "Well, shoot, stamp it, boys. I got a first place rib, and I just put the peach wrap in, and I've got people that are wanting to buy it, which is
Yeah.
the main thing. Man, we'll release it." So the peach came next, and the same thing with the apple. I had teams wanting the apple, and then other teams were telling me, "Hey, man, I really like black cherry or cherry apple, and man, I want cherry apple, and that's the flavor profile." So the black cherry apple was actually mine. That one wasn't bought, but that one's one that I actually added to the line. So yeah, and man, when I was in South Dakota, I ran the black cherry and hit first place ribs at South Dakota on the rib burn on Friday night.
Yeah.
So, um, but again, I mean, all these there's
Country cooking, what's happening, And I saw there Brother Steven joining us all the way from Trinidad and Tobago. What's happening, Brother Steven? Well, no, like I said, Bill, I've been using these all season long, and I've been getting some great results with them. And especially, the black cherry apple, I had done a couple pork butts for the house here before before Rhode Island, so that they had some stuff. We stocked the freezer in it, and I had an open bottle from before. Man, I put that in those pork butts. Oh my God! Right off the bat, it changed the flavor.
Oh
And,
yeah, for sure.
and my wife and the kids are like, "Dad, what'd you do to this one?" I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Your pork that you cook here, it's good pork. It's
Yeah.
great, but this one's different." And I go, "Thank Bill." I go, "I used his wrap instead of the straight apple juice."
Yeah.
But they were loving it, and I was loving it. But like I said, I've been using them all season long, and my my scores have showed the improvement with the product.
Yeah.
I'm putting a lot of weight on the product instead of my capability. But I did beat a Texan in half chicken up in Rhode Island.
Yeah, you
Just
did.
saying, there,
Yeah,
Brian Fox. Just saying, Brian Fox. I got to get my gloats whenever I can. But no.
Well, the problem too is they've become so popular amongst the competition circuit that there's been cook-offs I've been at where, I was next to Buddy at one cook-off down south, and they got down to there was only first and second left in brisket. Me and Buddy were sitting next to each other, and they called him for second place, and Buddy just assumed, man, that I'm getting first. So he stands up, he says, "Oh man, congrats on first," and he walks up, and then they call first. It wasn't me, it was somebody else. I ended up being 11th at that cook-off. And Buddy comes back, says, "Shit, man, well, I used your brisket wrap." I said, "Yeah, so did I." So he was second place and I was 11th,
Yep.
So, invariably every comp I go to, somebody beats me with my own stuff. So, but man, you want people to win, because if they win, they become customers and they buy it. So you can't, you need to, if you want people to repeat buy, you can't, you got to show them what you do with it anyway. So.
Oh no, but that's got to be a good feeling from you, as on the business side of it, to get those notifications, in
For sure.
your Facebook group, Chicken Fried Tribe. Everyone's
For sure,
putting their
because
weekend.
just the comp world alone, it's a mental, you can mental masturbate yourself to where, especially when you don't do good, you have a weekend. I mean, we're all prone to these weekends where we just get our asses kicked,
Yeah.
and you start second guessing everything, and next thing you know, for me, being that I have products, man, I get a lot of messages. "Hey man, I've had 3 first place briskets in a row thanks to you, man. It really," and I'm like, "Oh," and it's man, if I'm not winning, man, I hope my products are winning, so
No, absolutely. Absolutely. So are there anything else coming down to yes, there is. Like I ran out of my sweet grind. Tell me about the ultimate grind.
well,
Just
the
out
ultimate grind
within the
is
past month.
it's a SPG. It's an amped up SPG. It's got some Worcestershire powder in there. It's got some citrus in there. It's got a lot of different things in it. It's something for cooking steaks. I mean, it's something my wife uses all around the house on everything. If we're sauteing shrimp, it's just something that you can just throw on any protein, any meat, whether it's fish, shrimp, or whatever. And truth be told, it's more geared towards, now I use it as a base layer on my meats, but
Mhm.
I'm in Home Depot and I want to try to get it into Home Depot because there's more people cooking burgers and steaks than there are that are cooking briskets, and ribs. So there's more steaks and chickens and stuff like that being cooked during the week. And So I'm working with Home Depot to try to get it into their stores to where um, there's just so much more steaks being cooked. So it's really a
Yeah.
kind of a steak all-purpose type. You can use it on anything, you know.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And now we're speaking of Home Depot. Now, is it nationwide now? The Texas rib grind is available at all Home Depots
For this calendar year,
for
it
this
is.
calendar
So
year. Okay.
this calendar year, I mean, they're going to review their sales every year and make adjustments. I think, and I don't know, I don't work for Home Depot. You know, they'll look at the numbers, see what's selling, what's not, where's it selling. I heard that they may move to more regional sets, but right now, because they're kind of new to the rub game over the last 2 years, if you will. So the first year we were just in like 600 or 900 stores, and I had two rubs, both my
Yeah.
sweet and my rib grind. Both of them were in like, I don't know, 900 stores. Well, then they killed that program because it had lasted a year, and they brought in, more. They brought in Blues Hog. They brought in, I think, Dano. So they brought in a bunch of other brands, which kind of shortened, the shelf space. So I ended up losing my sweet grind.
Yeah.
Just because they brought in so many other brands, and they just have it on apparently an end cap.
Yeah.
So they're constantly monitoring. I think Home Depot is really going, they're really aggressively after the barbecue sector, if you will. I think they see what Ace is doing and what some of the other operations are doing. So there's no telling what's going to happen next year. Man, I could be, if my sales aren't good, man, I could be booted out and new people in. Equally, if they notice that rib grind is selling more in the South, hey, maybe let's move Bill just to the South and include a couple of more SKUs. They've talked about brisket wrap. Some of the buyers use it at their house. They cooked. They follow me on social media, so
Yeah.
they've seen it. They're in the. You don't see them, but some of those buyers are in the chicken fried tribe and all the rest of it. So, but again, how many people are going to Home Depot to find stuff to do a brisket?
Yeah.
Us comp guys, we cook briskets every weekend. But the average backyard cook probably isn't cooking a brisket every weekend.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Because I'd go to my local Ace, and I get my wood and a couple of my injections, things like that, and around there, and I bring it up to the counter, and without fail, every time you come in, is it not like when anybody else hits the barbecue section comes in? He goes, "You're
Right.
getting like weird stuff." I'm like, what do you mean by that? He goes, these things, these injections, and I go, it's competition style, man. I go, I'm not coming in just for a bag of charcoal and some a sweet rub, or beef rub or something like that, burgers and steaks. I go, it's scientific, believe it or not. And they're like, really? I'm like, yeah. I go, yeah, it's all this crazy shit. I go, it's not just, we joke around saying, all it is burning meat in the parking lot with our friends. But,
Right.
I'd like to see a couple guys from the old Ivy Leagues come out here and look at what we're doing and going, you people are crazy.
We're mad scientists is what we are. We're all mad scientists trying with our own little secret, potions, trying to mix something up,
Yeah, no. But I will tell you this, as far as the Home Depots, Bill, around here, it's hard to get.
Is it?
There's always an empty spot. And I know who's supposed to be in that spot every time, because like I said, I got so many, and we're always me and Claudia always this town. There's always a Home Depot. I go, let's swing in.
Yeah.
and I always keep an eye. I'm like, so your rub up here is flying off the Home Depot shelves.
Well, I will
You
tell
know,
you this. I will tell you this because I'll go to my Home Depot and it'll be empty. Here in the Houston or Magnolia, there won't be any on the shelf. It'll look to be sold out. Then I'll go online. I'll go on the Home Depot app, and it'll show 3 of them in stock, right? But I know I've been to the store. I don't see them. So I'll buy them off the Home Depot app. I've done that twice where I'll go in and I'll actually order it, ship to store, right? And then they'll come back. Oh, I'm sorry, we're out of stock because they can't find it because it's a, and then that triggers them to order some more. They end up refunding me, and then they have to order more. So
yeah.
if you go to a Home Depot and they don't have any in stock, check online for that store, and you can order it online. And if they have a case in the back, obviously it'll be there. But I think even Home Depot too, you can order it from Home Depot and it'll ship to your house. Usually, within, and I think it's free shipping as well. So so you can get free shipping from Home Depot.
No, absolutely. Now, so that was the the product lines. Now, your social media game.
It's weak.
You stepped weak. Weak? It's weak. You want weak? Go to Pit Life Barbecue podcast. You want to see a weak social media game? Go hit that sumbitch up. Brother, every time I hit the phone on whether TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of them, you're doing something. Whether it's talking about the previous weekend's cook or the way somebody has told you how to use the pineapple wrap.
Right.
You're doing. I'm assuming you've gotten a little bit away from the long form for the most part and more short form, real type things. You still have your videos that you do on your YouTube channel, from a cook-off, the long form.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But you seem to have a nice little mix going on of all of these reels, shorts, all that stuff.
Man, it's to me, it's free advertisement, and when you got a brand and you got eyeballs on social media, I heard one guy say, if they don't know you, they can't buy from you. So, it's, I don't have a day job. So all I do is barbecue. So, to me, it's just try to put out content that, try to give out some value in my content too, not just, hey, buy this, hey, buy that. Hey, man, my game plan with content is to, try to deliver some value to where, people can learn something, you know what I mean? And, eventually, hopefully it'll lead to a sale, or someone trying my products or whatever. So, but
Greg Pino is saying here, where the hell is there? It is. You're all over his algorithm. Not complaining at all. Great videos. But
well, it's funny too because I go to comps just about every weekend, and people come up to me at comps all the time, every weekend. Hey man, I love your content. I watch all your videos, and okay, man, what's your name? Do you ever, do you ever comment? And a lot of them like, no, I never comment. I just watch. So there's a lot of people that will watch, but man, they don't drop a comment or they don't hit a like. And I get that's just part of the game because sometimes, man, when you're putting the stuff out there and you feel like nobody's watching, or you know what I mean? You'll drop a video and it'll have like it'll have freaking 4 or 5 comments, and oh, there's my buddy Pfeiffer.
There's Peppa. Don't bet Bill at a comp. Are you
Yeah, we
speaking from
bet.
experience, Pepper?
Yeah, he owes me $20, so
Oh.
he owes me $20. He wanted me to, he was going to Venmo me. I said, no, I'm going to get it from you when I see you in person. So I can't wait to see, my boy Pep in person, so.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But Bill, I got a couple, where the hell did it go? I got a couple questions from our buddy Braden. And which one do we got here? He's asking, what's your favorite food to cook in competition, and what's your least favorite in competition?
Probably my favorite would probably be brisket. Um, I feel like brisket is the one that gets the most eyeballs. To me, it's the one that maybe be the most challenging. Although I think chicken is probably, to me, one of the most challenging ones as far as I'm concerned, is getting texture. Chicken is just so neutral in flavor, and trying to find, you can do so much to it with flavor, trying to find a flavor that resonates with the judges. But it seems like chicken just has much bigger swings than any of the meats. So brisket probably my favorite in chickens, even though while I got a first place chicken last week, chicken's probably my least favorite, if you will, even though it's part of my name. Chicken's just a bastard.
Yep. No, absolutely. Absolutely. And then he's asking, in your opinion, what's the easiest protein in barbecue to trim?
Easiest to trim would probably be ribs. I think ribs are fairly simple to trim. I know guys that just cook them straight out of the package and don't really trim them until it's time to put it in the box. Knock off a couple of end bones here and there. And man, if you're buying, St. Louis cut, a lot of times I know some guys that will just, man, they'll just cook them just like that, and then maybe trim them up at the end when they straighten it out after they've cut them, to make them look a little straighter. But yeah, I would say probably ribs are the easiest to trim.
Yeah. No. Oh, okay. We got a couple more. The Hungry Hussy is in the house. Big
Yeah,
Rome, what's up? Cesar Mejia, what's happening, brother?
Toasty is in the house.
Yep. Did I miss? No, that was it. But no, it was, like I said, you've been busy. You've been hitting it on the circuit. And like I said, been a while since you and I got together on the show. And like I said, it was great spending some time with you last weekend and catching up. And one of these days, I know I keep saying it, I promise I'm coming down. I'm coming down to cook there with you.
Well,
boys.
I'm coming back up. I'll see you if you're going to Maine. I'll see you in Maine in a couple of weeks.
Okay, you come back up for that? All right.
Yeah, the KCBS. Are you cooking that one, Mags? Or
no?
Okay.
I had, because this is the one thing with my comp schedule. Yeah, I got to have everything in by February.
Okay.
For vacations with the post office, they have all the summer things done there, so it's
right.
Try to get boom whatever's in, and then try to work some stuff in between there. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going up to Cora this year. Nicole and Chad, they do a great job with.
Yeah,
with
how far is that
from
you? How far is the main contest from?
From me, it's literally, I think, less than an hour and a half. Okay. I think it's like an hour and 50.
Hiram, Maine, I think.
Because I
think it's Hiram. I think it's Hiram.
Hiram, Maine. Because I'm in Barnstead, New Hampshire, which is basically Alton Bay on Lake Winnipesaukee, and it's just shoot up there through Ossipee and hang a right, and you're there. But you're gonna have a great time up there. I'm looking forward to it. There. No, absolutely. But brother, thank you so much for taking the time to catch up with me. Thank you for the wonderful products that I've been using and doing well with.
You, man.
I'm hoping I'm doing you some bit of proud.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, brother. And I love it.
No, absolutely. Like I said, continued success. And I'll tell you, the game over. And everybody who knows me knows I have never been a brine guy.
Right.
I never brined anything till actually starting last year. Nothing. My Thanksgiving turkeys. Take it out, rub it, run it. Let's go.
Let's
But
go, baby.
competition is a different world, baby. Like you said,
Yeah, right.
keep slinging sauce, closing boxes, and chasing big checks.
That's it. That's it, brother. Appreciate you, Max. What happened? Are we still live, Max, or what? Hello. I think Max.
I was
maybe
it was flickering here and there the whole show. I was waiting for it to kick the hell out, and of course at the very end. So it kind of worked out well. Like I said, brother, thank you so much. Please give my love to everybody and tell the boys I said hi. Even
Will
that
do.
Brian Fox guy who's causing me grief with these goddamn grill mark lines. God, the phone hasn't stopped ringing, Brian. Thank you very much. But
Right.
and if I'm not mistaken, like I said, it's not even his fault. Someone else started it Saturday. Brian just runs with it and takes credit. Or
No, Brian's a good dude.
Brian gets blamed for it.
Yeah, he's a punching bag, but we
Brian's
love him.
the best. Brian's the best.
No,
I heard he's coming out with a Fruit Loop.
Yeah, he's got a new
seasoning.
Fruit Loop rib rub,
Yep.
So.
But brother, where can everybody find you? Social media, websites, the whole 9 yards.
Chicken Fried BBQ. It's social media, Instagram, Facebook, my website. It's all Chicken Fried BBQ. You can find me pretty much any platform with that call sign. So
that's it, brother. That's it. And guys, like you said, run out to the Home Depot. You get the rib grind there if you're lucky. Like I said, around here, there's an empty spot there. And no, I haven't been buying them all and have a secret stockpile, which might not be a bad idea. I'll be your dealers around here. You know what I'm saying? But check it out. Go hit the website. Guys, like I said, I've been running the wraps and the game over, brine injection. And like I said, I've seen improvements in my scores. I've been seeing improvement in the consistency. We're in the ballpark, and the flavor they add. Like you said, even my wife and kids can tell that I did something different while using the wraps just for, pulled pork here at the house. So check out those products, and you won't be disappointed. But brother, like I said, thank you again for your time. I appreciate you as always. And keep hitting it, brother.
Appreciate you. Thanks, Mags. And man, we'll see you. Maybe you'll swing by the comp up there in Maine to say hello if you're around.
Yeah, maybe I'll swing on by maybe Saturday night once I get home from work, shoot up the street and hang out with some of the boys for a little bit. That might be a good idea.
Cool, brother. I appreciate you, Max. Thank you, bub.
All right, brother. Thanks, Bill. Guys, peace. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Purvis, man. Like I said, check out Chicken Fried Barbecue, all Bill's products. I love them. The family loves them. The guys on the circuit love it. And just quality stuff. Little chicken fried action, little Uncle Steve action. It's been hitting some numbers. That's all I'm going to say. But once again, guys, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you, except that Dutch guy. He's kind of on the fence lately. I'm kidding, Dutch. As you're sitting poolside with a little drink with a little umbrella in it, I bet. But no, I love you all. Thank you all. Please catch the video on Facebook and YouTube. On YouTube, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. You have every single episode right at your fingertips. Catch the audio version wherever audio podcasts are found. Any questions or comments, please send them to pitlifebbqpodcast@gmail.com. Like always, subscribe, like, rate, and review. Hit that share button. Hit that share button, folks. Let's get this even growing even more. Get the word out there. But like I said, happy Monday. Enjoy the week. Hit it hard this weekend, boys and girls, whether it's in the field or parking lot somewhere or it's in the driveway. Until next week, keep the smoke rolling.